G'day. So I went to see Dylan Moran and a few other fabulous Irish comics at Vicar Street last Monday night. It was Irish Comics for Palestine, so a very worthy cause indeed. And I went alone, although I had 2 tickets, because no one that I knew wanted to go with me, which was a bit of a bummer. It's a bummer having a free ticket and no one wanting to use it with you. I mean, there were a couple of friends who said they'd really like to, but they just couldn't. But, you know, it is a bit of a bummer thinking that you're just never anyone's priority and that you might always be alone at these sort of events. You know, a woman at that time of life, that sort of thing. And then, when I got to Vicar Street, because I thought, by God, I'm going anyway, because I've always wanted to see Dylan Moran, and I've always wanted to see Ardal O'Hanlon, and David McSavage, and Chris Kent was there as well, and he was very funny. And Deirdre Kane was there, and she's also very funny. I thought, well, I'm not going to miss out. I'll go by myself. So I went, and Parking Angel was good to me, found a good park in De Liberties, on Thomas Street, outside the Guinness factory, walked up to Vicar Street, was there early enough to sort of go into the bar and get my first gin and tonic. I thought, I'll have a gin and tonic in the bar, you know, in the front lobby sort of thing at Vicar Street, and then I'll get another one to take with me into the theatre to wet my whistle in case I get a cough or something coming on, because I had a bit of a cold. So I went and got my gin and tonic, and then of course I had to then wander around the bar by myself, trying to not to look, you know, dateless and desperate. I even thought about, like, you know, taking a picture of myself with the old gram saying, well, dateless and desperate in Dublin, and trying to make light of the matter. But anyways, I'm wandering around and looking at the Harley Davidson that they gave to Gay Byrne from U2, and that's sort of all the memorabilia. And then I stroll over and I notice there's a section of railing that doesn't have everyone standing against it, and it's near the bar, so I can stand there and, you know, lean against it casually as though I might be waiting for someone while I drink my first G&T. So no sooner had I parked myself there than there was a yank all up in my face. Are you Claire? I'm like, no, I'm not, sorry. You're not here with Nita? I'm like, no, I'm not. She's like, and then she's, without waiting for a reply or apology or whatever, she dashed off around the bar to try and hunt down poor Claire. And it was that moment I had an epiphany. I remembered who I am. Most people are dogs or sheep. They don't care what they're doing so long as they're doing it in the company of everyone else. And they die of loneliness if they're not amongst all the other sheep. They get very stressed. But a few people, about 10% of us, we're cats. We're absolutely fine with being by ourselves. We will want your company, we'll go and seek it out. But we would rather go and sit in a corner and lick our own arse than have to hang out with the idiot dogs. So, save the knowledge that I'm not such a fucking sado that I'm on an app trying to find like-minded people to go to the theatre with, and thereby have to put up with awful, awful people like chattering and chewing and slurping and not understanding the event that I'm attending loudly near me, I can happily just go and perch myself with my G&T in my seat and ignore everyone around me while I focus on what I want to see and the entire reason I came there in the first place. And as I sat there at the table in Vicar Street, steadfastly ignoring the people who were sharing my table behind me and the people who were like literally almost on my knee at the table in front of me, with the table so squashed in true Irish fashion. Social distancing still hasn't been invented in Ireland. I reminded myself that, I've gone to see the opera several times at the Sydney Opera House by myself. One of my favourite things to do when I lived in Perth was to catch the train from Perth to Fremantle, go to Elizabeth's second-hand bookshop, get myself several books, and then go and sit in the sunshine, al fresco, drinking wine and eating fabulous pasta in the cappuccino strip while I read one of the books by myself, unbothered. I went all the way from Perth to Sydney on the train by myself. Once upon a time, that was my first embarkation upon adventure and solo travel. So really, I'm very grateful just to still be here, let alone be in Ireland, where I've always wanted to be, amongst fabulous artists and comedians. And so I can literally drive 2.5 hours and see all ththese fabulous Irish comedians at the same place in the same time, instead of like, if, for example, if I was in Perth, I'd have to wait years for them to bother to come to visit. So I'm perfectly happy to do it by myself. It's better than not doing it at all. And I'm a pussycat. Meow. Hear me roar. I'll see you when you got nothing on.